Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Primetime Sports Talk YouTube channel. I am Mason Thompson. You know me from the Packers podcast as well as the Draft podcast. And today we are joined by 2021 NFL Draft prospect and Houston Cougars pass rusher. I like saying pass rusher, not defensive end or outside linebacker, Payton Turner. Payton, if you kind of want to introduce yourself a little bit here today, kind of just go through your early high school career before we jump right into the college career and your draft career.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, Mason. Yeah, so my high school career was a little unique. I think everybody's is, but I started off. Football is actually my worst sport of the three. Baseball is by far my best. But it's too slow for me, and I played pitcher and first base, so which is as active as it's gonna get, really. Besides catcher, but and I batted fourth. Just throwing that in there too. So, but yeah, I mean, baseball was my best sport, then basketball, then football. I gave up baseball early on in high school. Just because I got bored with it. And then basketball and football, I carried on with. So my freshman and sophomore year, I played quarterback, matter of fact, for my high school team. And then I moved to, I played a little bit of tight end, but I moved over to D-line towards the end of my sophomore year, really full time. And then my junior year, I played D-line, started getting a few offers, getting some looks from D1 colleges and everything. And then, I never really had an off season because, like I said, I played basketball. So, I had that basketball off season. I was going around shooting and hooping it up and everything, dunking on kids and all that good stuff. And then in the summer, I went and played basketball, so I didn't really go to a lot of camps and everything. So most of my interests and stuff came in my junior year, junior to senior year. And then I was like, well, shoot, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I might play basketball, might play football in college. So I was like, I'll just see how senior year pans out, and then I'll just go from there, make a decision from there, whether I'm going to play basketball or football. Because it wasn't a question of really did I love either one, because I love both of them. It's just, which one was I going to do? So just picking between those two. My senior year, going into my senior year, I was talking to a lot of coaches. I talked to Coach Harbaugh, Michigan, and then talked to some D-line coach from Kansas. I was talking to a lot of different schools, Texas included. So, but then I tore my ACL second or third game of my senior year. So I was like, well, that sucks. What am I going to do now? So a lot of schools stopped talking to me for football and basketball. And the funny thing is that I was actually running around on a torn ACL for a week and a half. I didn't know it was torn. I was practicing and everything. I finished the game. I was like, well, my knee hurts, but whatever. So, I just went to practice, went to the game and everything. And then I found out I was hooping actually at a gym after a football practice. I was hooping, and I just kind of felt my knee slip. I was like, well, that's not right. So, it turned out I had a torn ACL for about a week and a half I was running around on. So, that was interesting. But, yeah, like I said, a lot of coaches stopped talking to me. A lot of schools stopped recruiting me. Didn't hear from a lot of schools or anything anymore. And then, Houston stayed on the trail and, kept their offer and stayed in contact with me. So I ended up at Houston. So, honestly, I think it was the best thing that could have happened for me.
So you mentioned playing those other sports like basketball and baseball, and then also you played quarterback and fullback during your early high school years. Does that experience playing other sports and other positions during your early years in football kind of help you in some way playing defensive line and pass rusher?
No doubt. Hand coordination, foot coordination for sure from basketball. All that hand speed and stuff. You gotta have quick hands, good feet in football. So that transfers over really easily. I think baseball as well, just with hand-eye coordination again. And then football is its own sport though, so you got to be able to play some football to go out there and play football. So I think football, speaks for itself, having played that early on in your career, especially different positions and stuff like that, just understanding the full scope of the game. But yeah, it's, I think it's all goes hand in hand. Just that's why coaches care. That's why schools care. That's why NFL asks whether you play other sports, because all that does matter. So I think it definitely translates over.
So during your first, was it 2 years at Houston, you started on the interior of the defensive line playing 4-eye and 3-tech, right?
Right.
And then before your junior year, there was kind of a scheme change, like before you're running a 3-4, and then you switched to a 4-2-5. What kind of differences did you have to kind of go through, shaping your body, kind of dropping weight and everything to go switch from playing on the interior to on the edge?
Yeah, I mean, naturally, I think coming in, just me being a little lighter, I was probably naturally an outside backer, but The coaches liked my length a lot, so they put me on the interior, and then I grew some more too. So, like you said, going from one defense to another, there's obviously change and a learning curve that goes into that. But the first 2 years I played on the interior, I think that helps with my physicality. I'm not scared to put my head in between that guard and tackle or center and guard on a movement or anything like that. So I think that contributes to like my physicality on the edge and the way I play. Like I describe like kind of my play style like pretty violent on the edge. So I think that transfers over. But yeah, my junior year. So funny thing is, my sophomore year, I had a foot injury, so I missed all of fall camp. I missed summer workouts, and I came in with that new staff that came in. We came back from summer. I was like, well, I feel good. Like let's do some fall camp. So came in to play 3-tech in fall camp at like about 285, and then coach thought we needed some help on the edge, so he's like, hey, like PT, can you hop out there on the edge? I was like, yeah, coach, I haven't played the edge since junior year of high school, but I'll hop out there learning in fall camp. So my junior year is really just me learning how to play on the edge again. And then senior year was just a production of me, identifying what I needed to work on and going to work on that in the off season, and then going out there and getting some production. So that's kind of my path with the new coaching staff coming in and me just learning the new defense.
Kind of getting away from football talk for a minute. I kind of saw that you were a gamer and you're a big anime guy. What are some of your favorites for like those?
Dude, okay, I'm glad you asked, man. Naruto, no doubt, Shippuden is ridiculously great. Crazy storyline. You watch Naruto and then it's kind of hard to watch any other anime. Sometimes you always compare it to like Naruto because it's so good. But Dragon Ball Z, a big Dragon Ball fan. I watched them all. Dragon Ball Super is so good. And then I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I wouldn't say it's anime, but like the cartoon, like Clone Wars and all that. Like I love big Star Wars guy. And then what was the other part? There's two parts.
Video games, kind of.
Yeah, video games. I used to be a big Ratchet and Clank dude, like when I was young, like growing up. But I'll play Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. I'll play Call of Duty, all that, all those first person like shooter games. I haven't played 2K and Madden in a little minute, so I'm looking forward to getting those though, especially once I'm in Madden this upcoming year. So definitely get that, play with my guy, max him out. So I'm looking forward to that.
So kind of talk us through the 2020 season, kind of a lot different, obviously, because of the COVID protocols and everything. How does that like change your pre-draft process, and how did it really affect your season so far?
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I haven't been through this pre-draft process before, so I don't know what's different, what's not too much, but I'd imagine that I'd be having a lot of these Zoom meetings in person, face to face, in front of like the GMs and the coaches at the same time, opposed to seeing the GM one day and then seeing the D-line coach the next, and then them both again another time. But just like the whole process, I mean, I'm positive it's different, but I mean, I've just been. Everybody tells you to enjoy the process and everything. So, I mean, I've just been trying to – it's tough, it's a stressful process, but, it's a long process. But it's I'm just trying to take a second, take a step back every once in a while and just enjoy it, how my life's going to change soon. So, but as far – what was the other part?
Like how did it affect the season at Houston?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you tracked Houston sports, well, especially football, you would have noticed that, we got a lot of games canceled week to week. So, we got a lot of games canceled, rescheduled just because of COVID. Not even on our end. I think it was on our end like once. I'd gotten it actually right in a hotel right before the game. I got pulled for contact tracing, so that sucked. But it's tough. I think every team's gone through adversity just because of that factor of COVID and everything. So it's been a really odd year for college football for the world really, but especially in the college football atmosphere. But I think we handled it well just week to week. It's hard to you prepare and hope to play, pray to play on a Saturday, and then you find out Friday right before you get on the bus or the plane, you can't go. So a little demoralizing, but you just gotta take it, go with it.
So kind of after the season, I think it was late January, early February, you had the opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl, and two of your other teammates were there, Marquez Stevenson and Grant Stewart. What was that like having three Houston players down there in Mobile?
It was nice. We didn't get to see each other too much just because of the COVID restrictions and everything. But when we were on the field, they were breaking it out or on the bus, going out to eat or something, just chopping up with them. It's nice to have a few guys that there. I think that was the most in a while that we spent, so that was cool. But yeah, the whole Mobile experience was different, man. You know, that's the Super Bowl to them when you go down there. But you know, it was a different experience, but it was really unique. It was nice to talk to, like I said, like just different guys, just talk football with guys that it's funny because you're kind of competing with them to get drafted higher or whatever, but like it's really like you take a step back from it for a minute, and you really just get to enjoy being around other guys that are after the same dream as you, so and just talk football. But it was a cool experience for sure.
So the interview process was kind of getting back to the whole entire COVID thing, but the interview process this year was a lot different. Can you kind of run us through that, like what it was like? Because wasn't it like 15 minutes for each interview or something?
Yeah, so they had each team had a station set up, so you just went team to team, station to station, and you had 15 minutes. A few of them would be on a Zoom call. They'd be recording you behind like a glass panel or whatever, and then yeah, you just talk to them for 15 minutes. Get their information, just talk ball, talk not too much ball. It's more about like an introduction, just to learn who you are. I'm thinking, because I mean, I've met with a lot of them again and told them. Then we talked football, but it's more just more of the basic questions, introductory process. Maybe the GM's there and you talk to him a little bit too. So just trying to get a feel for the prospects, I think is more of what that was. But yeah, it was only 15 minutes to each team.
So that whole entire week, you got to go against like some of the best competition in the country. Who was the best player you had like the best battles with on the offensive line during like practices and everything? Because you didn't play in the game because of
Yeah,
the injury you suffered.
right. Yeah, that right at the beginning of the second day that happened. But there was definitely some good guys there, no doubt, best players in college football. So I mean, the guard from Tennessee, Smith.
Yeah.
Trey Smith, he's pretty good. And then the tackle actually from ECU, I think it was Deontay Smith.
Smith, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty solid, man. He's athletic, long. So I think we went back and forth with him. Those first 2 days I was there. So, but he's good. They're both really good. So, no doubt them.
So the Senior Bowl was kind of the biggest like draft event this year because the combine got canceled. Has that really affected you in any way? I know your pro days this week and everything, but have you kind of had to like shift everything to go from like preparing for the combine and I think it was early like March if I'm right or something, to just having your pro day like midway through April, a couple weeks before the draft?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the process has just been stretched out a little bit longer. So, nothing super crazy. Like I said, I mean, I don't really have any experience in the draft, but I'd imagine that the combine would have been awesome to run. You dream about going out there and running your 40 in front of all the scouts and everybody. That backdrop and just seeing your time. So it's a little different, I think, especially for the players, just the ones that thought of this moment like their whole life or their entire college career at the very least. So it's a little different for sure, but I mean, you just got to go with it.
So right now it's a little under 4 weeks away from the draft. Like this last Thursday was exactly 4 weeks. But what does a typical week look like for you, like this last couple of weeks?
Yeah. So I mean, you kind of mentioned earlier, just I did had an injury at the Senior Bowl, so just been doing a lot of rehab and stuff. So I'll get up there in the morning, go up there, do rehab, some pool work, try to stay in shape, some bike cardio. And then, this past week, actually, though, I got to run for the first time since the Senior Bowl, which is pretty fun. Exciting for me personally, just, to get back out there, moving around and everything. So just been doing drill work and stuff. But, I'll get up at like 7, go up there, start my day, rehab, pool work, bike work. Then I'll have a lift, or I'll actually do my speed work now. I'll go out there and do my speed work after that. Get done around 11, get a shake. I ate breakfast prior to that, so get my shake, eat lunch, and then I got a lift in the afternoon, and then I block off a good amount of my time in the afternoon for meetings and stuff. So I'll get my shake after the lift, do some slight light rehab stuff like that. If I have any sores or anything, just getting that worked on, just stretching everything. Go back, get on the meetings all night, and then wake up and do it again.
So I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this question because it's kind of you talk to all the teams at the Senior Bowl, right?
Right.
So have you talked to almost all of them again for like a second time?
Yeah, I've talked to almost all of them again, and then a good amount of them more than 2 times. So I mean, I'll talk to every team. I don't have a complete record book of how many times I talked to each coach or GM or anything, but I've talked to every team at least once.
So what are those like these Zoom interviews like right now? Are they pretty much, you said they were kind of more of like the player focused ones right now because at the Senior Bowl they were kind of like an intro, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. But I mean, even then, I mean, there are a bunch of busy dudes in the NFL. So if they just want to, hear the little introductory part again, just real quick, like 5-10 minutes. So they'll hit that, and then we'll just talk more ball and then schemes, learning plays, drawing them back. Just talking football, just trying to poke around our brains, see how we see the game, how we played, and why we did what we did on film. So a lot of that.
So if there's like one thing that you want to like say in an interview, what is it? And then kind of coming back around to what the teams ask, what is the most kind of I kind of want to say most weirdest thing that you've been asked so far the draft process?
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. The weirdest things I've been asked. Well, what was the first part? I got too caught up in
It
the
was
weird.
like, what are you always trying to say to like every
Oh,
team?
right. Yeah. Really, I'm not really trying to say anything specific. I just want, I'm just trying to answer their questions and everything. But I really just want them to like know what kind of guy I am. So just talking and getting to, introduce myself and then get to know what they think about me. I'm more interested about learning what they have to say more so than I am trying to get my message across. Because I mean, my film's gonna speak for itself. My measurement's gonna speak for itself. So uh, I just want to speak for myself, about who I am when they're talking. So just to just get to introduce myself and introduce the type of guy I am to them. And then as far as questions that are weird, I think the weirdest one was how long do I sit on the toilet in the morning? That was by far the weirdest. I got that a few weeks ago. That was a weird. I've probably gotten like four questionable ones that I wouldn't ask any normal person, but yeah, the how long do you sit on the toilet in the morning was definitely the weirdest.
So obviously, throughout the whole entire draft process, the media kind of likes to jump prospects up and down the boards. But do you really pay any attention to mock drafts at all, or do you just kind of let you and your agent kind of just let things go and kind of work your way through the whole entire process?
I think any other year, exception with the exception of maybe last year, the media probably has had a uh, pretty good idea of where a lot of prospects are going to go. But just because of COVID and everything, and how you can't, you're comparing apples to oranges in every situation. If you got guys that played like 6 games and you got guys that played 13 games, so there's a lot of variables this year. But I mean, I don't really, my parents will tell me every once in a while, this one's got you late first or whatever, and I'll be like, like it is what it is. Like, I mean, nobody knows what GMs and coaches are thinking. Nobody's in that boardroom with them. So I just been really just going through it by myself with my agent and stuff, and my parents are always there. But I don't really pay too much attention to the media.
So, kind of going back to a little bit more on the media, there's a lot of words thrown around in the draft community like raw or developmental or upside. Do you like kind of see yourself in one of those words at all, like high upside or anything?
I'd say more so the upside, just because, like I told you earlier, the last time I played prior to my junior year in fall camp of me learning just kind of how to play defensive end was junior year of high school. So, I have 2.5 years of D end under my belt now. So, yeah, I mean, upside for sure, just because of how much I produced and how my measurements and measurables and everything, just how new I am to the edge. So, yeah, sure. I mean, those words can get tossed around. There's a bunch of words that can get tossed around about every prospect. So, I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, I mean, I could see that being a word to describe me.
So the draft is later this month. So what is your draft party going to look like, and what is that phone call going to be like when you get that call from the team, whatever day that is?
Uh, you know, I mean, as far as draft party, I'm just gonna be me and my family, a few close friends, but family for sure. And well, I'll stay here in Houston, just enjoy their company. Uh, Tune in day one and day two. But yeah, I mean that call is, I mean, it's gonna be a dream come true, really. You grow up watching football on Sundays with the family and everything, so it's a dream come true to be able to go and compete against the best players in the world, play for a team that wants me. So I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait for the end of this month, see where I end up.
So you've been living in Houston all of your life. What do you have you really thought about like if a team that plays in the cold weather gives you that phone call at all yet?
I mean, I visited Montana a few times, so I mean, I don't mind the cold too much, but I mean, definitely be a change of wardrobe, but you know, as far as that, like a few more clothing options, and you know, I get to dress a little nicer. I don't see much of a big deal about that. You know, I'm still in the United States of America, baby.
So you sacked Zach Wilson in the BYU game in college. If there's a quarterback in the NFL or even a tackle that you want to go against, who is it and why?
Uh, you know, I wouldn't mind hitting Tom Brady, man, because I had the Chiefs winning that. But I definitely say Tom Brady would be a cool sack picture, you know, on the wall, just because of how much he's accomplished, how successful he's been, and then you know him just being able to walk into the Bucs organization. Obviously, they surrounded him with pieces, but do what he's done, you know, that's really impressive. So just to get a sack on him would be pretty cool.
So kind of the last question before we kind of wrap up here. What does life after football kind of bring to you? Do you want to be like an analyst or anything in the sport, or do you kind of just want to go outside of the sport a little bit?
That'd be pretty cool, actually. You know, just to be able to stay around the sport and everything. But you know, as of now, you know, I plan on coming back and getting my master's. Got my degree in business management, getting my master's in oil and energy management here from Houston, and then you know, hopefully, you know, getting a good job in the business end of oil and gas or oil and energy, because that, you know, that is the future. So that's my plan. But I mean, you know, plans change.
All right. So obviously, thank you for your time and everything. Good luck to you on your pro day on Friday. Wherever you end up, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, it's kind of not in the NFC North. If it is Green Bay, then sure, I like it a lot. But if it's Minnesota or Chicago, then I guess whatever. But thank you for your time and everything, and just good luck the rest of the month and everything.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.